Well, today I'm gonna check out a place called Bukchon Hanok Village, which is a fan suggestion from Adela. So we're gonna go and see what this is all about. They have some nice buildings though, I will say that. Just walking around a little bit. A very steep hill right here. I realized after getting here, this is actually really close to the Imperial Palace, which is next to the US Embassy, which you can see in another video. So, while still being in the city limits of Seoul, here in Bukchon, they have an incredible village basically made to look like it did 600 years ago. I don't know if it's original. I think most of it probably is. There's people like her who are dressed up in traditional Korean clothes going around here, and it's really cool to see. There's a lot of people here just taking photographs. I think that's the main point, is to come here and take photographs, take really nice pictures. So if you're into that, if you have an Instagram or whatever, this is definitely the place for that. So from right here on this hill and many of the other hills here in the town, you can see the modern city, skyscrapers and stuff in the background, and then the very old looking village right here with people in traditional clothes. It's really cool. It's a nice little juxtaposition. They have little markets and stuff, or not markets, but they have little cafes and stuff in here that you can eat at, and it's really nice. It's a really nice aesthetic that I think a lot of places should probably kind of look into copying in their own city centers, having an older looking place. Actually in San Diego we have that, but obviously our history isn't as long as this. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think this might be South Africa's embassy might be in here, which is interesting. They got a good location. They got a good spot for sure. I'm pretty surprised most of these places haven't been bought out though. Most of the houses haven't been bought out and turned into cafes. I'm sure Western people would love that. They would love to come through here and drink tea and stuff, because I've seen a couple tea places, but most of them seem to be home still. I think I might have accidentally left Bukchon, but I will say that when I was in it, I was very surprised by how few people relative that there were to a lot of other places that are very crowded, you know? So it's not super touristed, at least this time of year. It's January, early January. All right, this street looks like it's probably the main street. I had to walk backwards a little ways, but I think this is gonna be it. Yeah, this street is everybody taking their pictures. So that's definitely what this place is about, getting your picture taken like that. Well, I think this is going to be the end of Bukchon Hanok. Let's go see something else. Well, I always love when a city has a really cool river like this right through the middle of the town. So I'm in the middle of the city. You can come right down here next to the water. It does get apparently high enough to come up here onto the sidewalk sometimes. And right along the edge is literally just a sheet of ice. So be careful when you come down here. But I really enjoy these green space, greenish spaces. It's nice. It's a nice river. A future Peking duck right here in the making. Over on the wall across from me, I've been noticing it for a while, but it looks kind of they made a giant procession, probably, I guess, of what the king or emperor's caravan would look like as they came into the city. I'm guessing that's what that is. Maybe it's an army going to war, because there's a lot of soldiers in it, but I imagine that would be the case either way. Drowning is a real thing in this river, I guess. Jeez, guys. So when you're here in South Korea, one piece of advice I will give is the GPSs, especially in Seoul, are very, very bad. If you're using Google Maps or Apple Maps, stuff like that, probably not going to work. What I was told is to use Naver Maps. That's worked pretty well for me. That's what I've been using. I don't know why it's so bad. I did hear a theory given when I went to the DMZ. The lady there said that it might be because, or she said it was because of North Korean GPS scrambling towers. So maybe that's the case. I couldn't say definitively. I just don't know. I'm not an expert at all. So there you go. But I will say, use Naver. use a Korean app. Look up one before you come. You know, they say it's a no drone zone, but like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, North Korea flew some drones into South Korea and they couldn't even shoot them down. They had a jet crash when they tried to intercept them. So they say no drone zone, but I don't think they can really enforce that very well. So behind me is a plaque in memorial to a man named Wood Dang who fought against the Japanese. He trained officers to fight against the Japanese in Manchuria. He fled Korea because of Japanese occupation. But one thing I want to say is all over Korea you'll see stuff referring back to the Japanese occupation era, and they're very, very anti-Japan. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Japan did a lot of bad things to them, that's for sure. Japan definitely was the worst country of the Second World War. They did the most war crimes, easily, bar none. But, you know, it's been a while. You guys are kind of on the same side. You got bigger issues. North Korea's a pain to both of you. China is kind of a little bit of a threat to both because they back North Korea. Maybe it's time to let sleeping dogs lie. I don't know. That's my hot take on the Korean anti-Japanese sentiment. They also have like a dispute over some rocks in the middle of the water. I think Japan could be gracious enough to give them up in exchange for a little tiny bit of forgiveness over all the sexual exploitation of Korean women that they did for decades. Maybe that's something people could do. I don't know. Well, directly behind me is a gigantic, beautiful Catholic cathedral. And if there's anything we know about Just Life, we can't go an entire series of videos without going to a Catholic cathedral. We're going to release these out of order. So this is going to be probably in one of the earlier videos being released from this Asia trip. But it is definitely the very last thing I think I'm going to film. So here it is. Let's go check it out. It looks very European, as you'd expect. Catholicism's from Europe, makes sense. The ones in Africa were a little more unique, but let's go see what's inside. I bet it's very beautiful. So let's see. Unfortunately, it looks like I might not be able to get inside. I am going to try the doors, but nobody else has been going in and out. So unfortunately, that's the thing. Namsan Seoul Tower is right behind me, so it's a beautiful area. And yeah, I definitely like it. They got the manger up because it is still pretty close to Christmas time. And yeah, I don't have much to say. Unfortunately, it says we can't enter during Mass. So there are services going on inside right now, which I would love to join, but apparently I can't. One really good thing about Korea is people here are actually converting to Christianity very, very quickly. There's a lot of people converting every year, while in the West, a lot of people are leaving their religion, their religious heritage behind and kind of forgetting that stuff. Here in Korea, it's kind of the opposite. People are becoming more Christian. One thing I think is kind of cool is in South Korea, there's a lot of stuff that's underground like this, because they have bomb shelters all over the place because of impending war with North Korea, because they're technically still at war right now. So you walk around the city and there's underpasses under the road everywhere, and they're all like meant for bomb shelters, but they're filled up with shops now. So there's like underground malls everywhere, just everywhere. So it's really cool. And it's also nice because like right now it's cold outside, and down here it's not, it's warm. So you can come down here, walk, shop, and not be as cold. So it's a really nice amenity to have. It's something that in cities all over the US, where we're in, especially northern cities and like the Midwest, this would be perfect, having a place where you could be underground and warm. So this hotel, Hotel Irene City, has been the hotel we've been at for most of our time in Seoul. And I can say, I honestly think this is a great hotel. It's got great amenities and it's in the perfect location. You're really close to everything. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't even know they don't know who I am. But like, this is the perfect hotel. If you want to visit Seoul, I definitely recommend getting here or as close to here as you can. There's other hotels like the Marriott's just down the street too. But everything's within walking distance. Everything you've seen in all of our Seoul videos is within walking distance, and the main train station is like just down the street. So everything's super close. Highly recommend. But that's going to be it from Seoul. The city kind of grew on me as I was here. I thought Korea was a little boring at first, but I started to like it a little more. And yeah, I've enjoyed myself. I hope you guys enjoyed too. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.